we're back. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We're going to have to start with our lead story. EA Play 2021, or, EA late to E3 Play.
EA late to, yeah, it doesn't have the same ring, but I get it.
Yeah, it's late to the party. I mean, why did they do it so far out? They announced it like early on, like in June. Like, yeah, we're going to have an EA Play, I was wrong last week. I said it was on the actually July 22nd.
It's terrible, like, Dan. The internet's never going to forgive you.
Oh, yeah. Well, they still haven't forgiven you,
for
Super Mario World is better than Super Mario Brothers 3, but that's
all right.
Not going to get into that.
I don't know. Check the website, Dan. We're neck and neck. All right. There was a poll on that website.
Yes.
All right. For anyone who is new to the podcast or has not gone to the website, you should go to the website. We have a website, and there's a poll on the right-hand side rail. Which is the greatest game of all time, Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World? Vote. I'm not gonna color your opinion. You go there and you vote for the game that you know in your heart is the best game of all time. Go ahead, because we're neck and neck right now. The last time I checked.
We're only neck and neck because Dave is one on different computers and different browsers to click on. His choice.
Really, Dan? Really, Dan? Really, Dan?
Me,
you think I'm that petty?
I was in the lead for so long, and all of a sudden we're neck and neck. So I think Dave. Yes, I do think you're.
No, I don't need to do that. Super Mario Brothers 3 stands on its own, right? I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
The fact that you even thought that was a thing that could happen with the poll means that you have orchestrated and you have been like, oh, I'm on my phone right now. Let me go, because it's a different device. You go and you vote for Mario World again. Your thumb just happened to slip on the submit button.
Sometimes I just have to test out and make sure the website's still working, Dave.
Oh, I see. So you threw. So you are admitting you threw a vote for Super Mario World.
I'm just admitting sometimes you go on, you gotta make sure the website's not down.
Wow,
but
Dan. Wow.
One thing. There
you go. Cheating. The cheating scandal.
You cannot manipulate. You cannot manipulate the fact that most of the guests we had on the show have picked the right choice, which is Super Mario Bros. I mean,
look, I'm not going to account for their wrong opinions, but they're entitled to them. They're entitled to them.
All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, EA Play. EA Play 2021.
It was short, it was sweet, and it wasn't that bad. I got to be honest. I was
surprisingly, it was very surprising.
I was expecting more sports and more mobile stuff. We didn't get any Madden talk.
I know.
And we barely got any
mobile stuff. I know.
Right,
and Madden's coming out at the end of next month, right? As we mentioned earlier, Madden's coming out August 20th. I thought we'd see like a sizzle reel of all the new stuff you can do in the game and very orchestrated camera angles and all that, and then be disappointed and let down as to why you paid $60 for the new game.
Is Tom Brady on the cover? I don't even know who's on the cover of Madden now.
I don't know who's on the cover. I don't think it'd be Brady. Brady already had his time in EA 17, I think. I think it
gotta be Brady with the Broncos. It gotta be Brady with the Broncos. Come on.
Broncos? Isn't he on
with the Bucs,
Tampa?
The
Bucs.
No,
yeah.
Come
on now.
Yeah. It's gotta be Brady with the Bucs. Come on. It's either that or because Patrick Mahomes was last.
Mahomes was either 20 or 21. Yeah. Now you got me interested to see. Wow. You'll never guess who's on the cover.
Gronk.
No. You were wrong and yet right at the same exact time. It is both. This is the first time in Madden history, after they started putting players on the cover, that there are two people on the cover, Brady and Mahomes.
Wow.
Staring into your soul. Brady on the Bucs and Mahomes on KC. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow, okay.
Couldn't decide.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we did get to see, they did buy, EA they had a big purchase that was like a bidding war between them and 2K with, I can't think of the studio, Codemasters, right?
Yep.
They do a lot of racing games. They're really known for their racing games.
Yeah, and the Dirt series in particular, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see some of that fruits of the labor. We got a preview of Grid Legends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, the Grid series. I have the Grid 1 and 2. I've actually have one for PS3 and I have two for the Xbox, the 360. I have Grid. There was another Grid game that came out. I can't think if it was a Grid Legendary or something along those lines. It was a third Grid game that came out. And
they've had a couple. They've had a couple, and people seem to like them. I haven't played one officially, but they seem to be good critical and commercial success. So,
but this one is interesting because it was like they have live action, like they have like actors playing, arguing over races and stuff. I wonder how that's going to play in the game. I mean, that seemed super interesting to me. Like, it's like,
they have
you beat me. They're going at it WWE style, cutting promos on each other.
Well, it's got a fleshed out story mode, right?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I was like, okay, all right, I'm into that.
It's a whole ton of different types of cars. There's like F1 cars. There's I think street cars, pro cars. They have like tractor trailers and whatever. You can drive like big rigs in it, and you can mix and match in like certain races, right? So it's not just like here's all the F1 cars or here's all the like super sport cars or whatever. Like that's yeah.
Then they showed us Lost in Random.
Right?
I didn't know. They said this game was already announced. I didn't know about this game. I don't know too much about this.
I think it was definitely in one of the showcases this year, but now we kind of got a deep dive on it because they had a new sizzle reel, and then they also had like the developer on, or one of the developers on, to kind of talk about the game a little bit more in depth. So I do remember seeing this briefly. I didn't really know too much about it. We didn't know that much about it, but it looks kind of cool. You got a little dice companion that you can kind of roll around, and it'll give you different powers, and you can pick up different abilities to kind of augment that. You play in this cartoon world. It looks cool.
This is sort of like an indie style. This is an indie style game because this is sort of the same program that Joseph Fares with like It Takes Two and Brothers,
right?
Like
the
those
EA originals, yeah.
Yeah, so this comes from that program. Always bringing it's EA's way of bringing unique titles and new IP because all they do is do sequels, remakes, sequels.
I know. Surprisingly sequel light in this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe Grid Legends you could kind of consider a sequel in a way, but
that's the first game that they're gonna put out after the acquisition. So, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got to look at Knockout City Season 2, right? That's coming
Super
out
excited.
27th.
Yeah.
And I've been playing that because you have it on Games Pass.
No, actually, I've been playing it on PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, because I have some friends who only have PlayStation, so I was like, all right, I'll get it, and it was But it's good. It's good.
I kind of like your friends, Dave.
Listen. They only have one console. It's fine. I'll make it work. It's good. It's good. I mean, they only have like maybe 7 levels and a couple different types of ball variants. So, for the people that play it all, I don't play that much, so I'm not like tired of what they have. But they're adding in a new level. They're adding in a new type of like ball mutation, I think 1 or 2, and then a bunch of new customization stuff, which, I mean, that stuff funds the game, right? Everybody buys all the cosmetic stuff and all that. I like that there's the new level. I like that there's the new ball mutator, so that should be kind of cool. And coming out soon in a couple weeks, right? End of the month.
It's coming out this week. Well, when this show goes live.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's the end of the month. Jeez.
Actually, no. It will be out when you listen to this show, the 27th, Tuesday.
Oh, shoot. That is true. That is true.
Then we got another look at Battlefield, right? And they announced Battlefield Portal, which lets players create their own multiplayer modes across classic Battlefield maps spread across 4 eras of the series. Right, so that was. I mean, listen, that's not something that I'm looking forward to, but I can understand the hype over that. Right, I mean, that just brings me to Doom Tomb levels when you can make your own levels.
Yeah, right. Like they had an example of the World War II fighters coming in contact with the modern day fighters. Like, how are they going to make that work? And it's like, well, in that scenario, I think you have more units, right? So you have more manpower to kind of like handle, because like you got modern weaponry, right? You got these long range snipers with radar dot scopes and whatever else, and all this like advanced technology is like, obviously you would trounce any
old school, platoon.
Yeah, exactly. A guy's got a little bayonet on his like little musket rifle. No, it's not gonna fly. But it looks like super cool. I'm excited to try it out.
All right, and then they ended the show with the worst kept secret.
Mm.
They're reimaking, reimagining of the first Dead Space game made by EA Motive, right? Using the Frostbite engine. And it's only going to be for current gen, okay, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. They're going to, since they're sort of remaking the first one, they're still going to use mechanics from the second and third one in this one, right? That the mechanics that work, certain mechanics that work.
Sure.
And they're going for no load times, which is fantastic.
Wow, they're going with the Halo approach, right? Load it all up front, and then boom, there's the whole level. But they're doing that with the whole game.
They're doing it with the whole game.
Interesting.
So if you had to grade the EA Play late to E3, what would you give it?
Oh, that's easy, Dan. I give it an S for surprising. Very surprising. Well, yeah. I mean, we got the new Grid game. We got more info on Battlefield, which we didn't necessarily think there was going to be any more surprises. But the portal mode is super cool. We finally got confirmation of the Dead Space game being built. There was some good stuff in here. No Madden and no mobile. So I got to give it an S. I was very surprised. Very surprised. Now, if you had to give it a grade, because I may have stolen your answer. I don't know. What would you give it?
You did. I did. Mine was S.
You could also say S if you want. It's fine.
S. I'm gonna go totally different. I'm gonna go E. Okay, because I'm gonna say it was excellent because I had low expectations. Very low expectations. I was shocked. It was my original. That was my.
There you go.
S
that also works too. S for shocked. I think everybody was. No
mobile games, no Madden. No, I will say I'm a little disappointed. Didn't see any NBA Live. Right. I kind of.
Oh yeah.
Sort of remade since they skipped last year or the last 2 years. I wanted to see a new NBA Live game, see what they could do with it, having time, not putting out game after game after game every year, right? Did you do any? You come back with fresh ideas, and they still may do it. They still may do it.
It's true. Usually comes out around like April. Is that right? When does it drop?
April, or is it? No, it usually comes around like September.
Oh, so it's always right before the series starts.
Oh, right before. Or
the season starts. Yeah.
Yeah. The season. Well, training camp is like mid to late October.
Okay.
And the season starts the first week of November.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but I mean, granted, they didn't show Madden at this thing, and Madden's right around the corner, so there is a possibility they may end up dropping.
There'll be another EA Play at some point next month,
or just like a trailer drop on YouTube, maybe.
There'll be I think there'll be another EA Play. There'll be like the sports EA Play, right?
Oh yeah. Here's all the games that nobody really cares about, but for a large subset of gamers.